We are Nathan and Shannon and our little dog Indigo. If you watched our previous vlogs, you'll know that we have moved from Canada to the UK about 3 months ago, and we have been exploring the UK while we are waiting for our 60-foot electric narrowboat to be built.
We've been keeping ourselves busy exploring while we have a car, which has actually been a lot of fun. Got to see all sorts of things that we wouldn't have otherwise, so it's all part of the adventure.
In this vlog, we will show you the small village of Kirk Ireton, biked down various trails, we found a cave, and we took a Helmsman course.
And we also visited the Braunston historical boat rally, which is really cool, and took in the Electrica show in Hardwick House. And best of all, our boat, Rayleigh Scattering, get to see it hoisted up onto a truck and put into the water. So thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoy the video.
Thanks for joining us.
Just a mile walk from the beautiful Carsington water is Kirk Ireton, a small village of about 500 people.
We're on a public footpath to the town. Watch a flower show. To go through all the gardens. This is the route that we take to get there. Through the fields with the cows and the sheep. Indigo loves it. Walking to Kirk Ireton. So you know what we're going to have to do now? We're going to have to ask them to move. A local pub. No signs, no nothing. Just the door on the left.
On the weekend leading to Wakes Day, Kirk Ireton has an open gardens, £5 per person, all in aid of local projects. I think there were about 18 gardens altogether. It was always fun to snoop in other people's gardens, especially being from halfway around the world. They were all quite lovely, fitting into the different spaces people have to work with. We really enjoyed our walk around, chatting with the owners, a wonderful taste of the very welcoming hilltop village of Kirk Ireton. Lots of walks through the countryside with Indigo and bike rides around Carsington waters. We've put over 300 kilometers on the bikes now. We have run across a few foxes, one scurrying away and dropping a pigeon on the path for us, and the trails are all grazing land. So, on occasion, you run across a few sheep.
Okay, we're herding sheep.
On Wakes Day, we joined the festivities as the whole village came out to partake in the various activities. Wheelbarrow races, hen racing, and tug-of-war to name a few. I couldn't persuade Shen to get into a garbage can for the wheelie bin race though.
This is a very close one, very close towards the end, we're quite sure it's oh, we're going to give that into the potato!
Later on, it was an evening of rock and pop covers by the local band Doghouse. A great time dancing into the night.
This is to the ladies outside. I understand they like this thing.
We popped down to the town of Derby for a few things, and while there visited the Derby Museum and Art Gallery. Free to visit, donations gratefully accepted. There were some wonderful pieces and surprises, like the bones of a hippopotamus, an elephant, and a rhinoceros, found locally when they were native to the UK, about 120,000 years ago. There is also a gallery of paintings by Joseph Wright, an 18th century artist, who is said to be the first to capture the spirit of the Industrial Revolution on canvas. A block away is the Derby Cathedral, one of Derby's most beautiful and historic sites. The first church on the site was built in 943, and the tower we see today was completed in 1530. Absolutely amazing.
We had a great day out at the Derbyshire County Show, a huge agricultural fair filled with beautifully made arts, crafts, flowers and food, and of course plenty of gorgeous farm animals. There was lots of racing action on both wheels and feet. We dropped in on an interview with Harriet, known for her role on Clarkson's farm and a huge advocate for getting girls and young women involved in the grit and glory of farming.
Yeah, it's a great lifestyle, but it's not something you go into for money.
And check out these beauties, orange sheep. At first I thought they were painted, but nope, they're orange sheep. All in all, we thoroughly enjoyed the show.
So when we were at the Kirk Boat Show, we signed up for a Helmsman Course. Yeah, and we thought it would be a good idea. So we've come down to Calcutta Boats, and they're going to take us around on this boat for the next 2 days and go through the course. At the end of it, we get a little certificate with even got our passport photo stuck inside it, apparently, because we had to get a passport photo for it. So we're looking forward to a couple of days of out and about, learning to tie ropes, learning to navigate properly, how to navigate on rivers, which way to go on the canals, as far as part of it's the navigation of the canals. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Sure will.
Anything?
Learn lots too.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. We got some homework tonight, 2 big books to to read through, and for our course first day tomorrow, and see how it all goes. So
I'll let you know.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
As you may have glimpsed, we took our course on the hire boat Wild Cheryl 2. Now, we both thought when we first saw the name, it was Wild Cheryl 2, which opened up all sorts of questions. Who is this person? What did they do that was so wild? What happened to the first Cheryl? I guess Wild Cheryl makes more sense. It's one of many plants you find alongside the towpath, and is also commonly known as cow parsley. The course was excellent, and we have many thanks to give to our patient trainer, Neil, who took us through our paces. The wind was blowing strong, which made for a good challenge in maneuvering the boat into locks and morages. In the end, we both passed, all official-like with our license. Leaving Calcutta Marina, we headed to the Braunston Historical Boat Rally, a weekend dedicated to celebrating the rich legacy of Britain's inland waterways. Held annually at Braunston Marina, this vibrant event attracts dozens of beautifully restored historic boats, passionate boaters, thousands of visitors from across the country, and a few Canadians. There was a spectacular gathering of working and ex-working historic narrowboats, a boat parade through the marina and along the Grand Union Canal, steam and vintage engines, canal craft demonstrations, and traditional skills. Live music, food and drink, trade stands, heritage displays, and waterway-related exhibitors, and of course, a licensed bar to cool off on this hot day. More than just a boat show, it was a living history experience, bringing together generations of canal enthusiasts to share stories, celebrate traditions, and enjoy a unique atmosphere. We got there early, before the crowds, and enjoyed a walk around and talking to the people setting up their trade stands. Grand Union Canal, bridge number 1. Now, what's interesting here is the metal rope runner. Over the decades, the horses pulling the canal boats have dragged the 50 to 60 meter rope across the metal and mooring these screws. We bought our tiller pin here, designed after the spire on top of a grandfather clock. This matches exactly the one I inherited from my grandfather who, being born in England, allowed us to come and live in the UK on an ancestral visa. It seems all very fitting. All in all, a fine day out. From boats to bikes, we pedaled up a steep hill to Middleton top and then along the trail that the steam trains used to take, transporting goods between the canals. The building here houses the world's oldest beam engine of its type in action. It used to pull a cable from the bottom of the hill at Cromford Canal, which we visited on the last video, hauling the engine and cargo up the steep hill. Quite the endeavor for an 1829 winding engine. Today was a visit to Ashbourne, a cup of tea, then a walk where we happened to catch a festival of bands playing in the park. We also found a statue of Catherine Booth, for it was here that she founded the Salvation Army with her husband in 1829. It was then time for an outside supper of fish and chips at the local chippies. Having enjoyed the bike trail at Middleton Top, today we drove further down and parked by the trail near Biggin and did a circular route through Buxton, a very picturesque ride through the countryside. Well, today we're at Hardwick House. Shannon's exploring the new house and I'm taking in the ruins of the old house. The Hardwick has a history that's closely associated with the lady who built it, who is Elizabeth Hardwick, who became the Countess of Shrewsbury later on, but went simply by Bess of Hardwick. And behind me is the ruins of her father's house that she rebuilt in 1580s thereabouts. And shortly after, when her husband died, she built a new hall that we'll go through and explore shortly. Here we can see the new house that was built in the 1590s and the old house, now in ruins, that had been updated just shortly before it. What's interesting is, up on some of the walls, we still have the plaster. Here we are in the buttery, which was designed for storing, like a pantry for storing beer and bread and the like. And up above us, the ruins of all the different floors. On the 5th floor we can see the ruins of the old hall, and then across the way the new house. Going up and down the stairs, that's probably why they live so long. They have to go up and down these stairs every day to get to the kitchens and to the beds and to the to the dining area. Lots of stairs. Hardwick Hall is renowned for its textiles, including an extensive collection of tapestries. The 13th and final Elizabethan Gideon tapestry returned home in 2023, signaling the end of the National Trust's longest-running conservation project at over 24 years. Brought to the hall after Bess of Hardwick went on a shopping spree in 1592 in London, the set of 13 Gideon tapestry line the hall's long gallery and betray the biblical story of Gideon. I asked one of the staff members which one was his favorite.
But this was because up till this year, this picture here was denied everybody because there were 3 portraits, full-length portraits, William Orange, Mary's wife, and Queen Anne. But I love this one because this was how Gideon determined who his 300 would be. So men who drank like dogs would be no good because they would be apprehended by the enemy, they wouldn't see them. But the ones who scooped up the water, they were the chosen. So I like this one.
Yeah. It's always fun when there's subtle little things that you keep discovering within them.
That's right,
It's amazing. Since we are having an electric narrowboat built, what better event to attend than Electrica? A venue to gather early electric narrowboat adopters, manufacturers, and potential new owners to share information and real-life experiences of this relatively new technology. Not too bad. You mind if I ask you a few questions on here?
Absolutely, of course.
We just got a Torkmar, actually.
Oh, really?
First of all, how do you pronounce it?
Torkmar is how we
Torkmar.
pronounce
So
it,
I got it pretty close. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so don't know the first thing about it. We're just having a narrowboat built, and so we switched over to the Torkmar because we heard it's very efficient and like the idea of it. So it looks just like that. So what different sizes are there? Because we have something that's around the 15 kilowatt range.
Yeah, so that's this one you've got here.
That's right.
This is the water-cooled variant.
Which is what we have.
Brilliant. So this will be
This is the second year it has taken place at Brinklow Waterside and Marina. There are speeches given by industry experts and experienced electric narrowboat owners. Lots of manufacturers to answer questions, and a fleet of 10 showboats, electric of course, to take a look at. Propeller size and type was a big topic this year. Lots of interesting information, good conversations, and things to think about. So glad we went. But I thought, hey, I'm here. It's a good idea to ask.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, why don't you ask Ian? So you've had the
1 or 3 years. There's no maintenance. I mean, after probably about 10 or 15 years, the bearings might start to wear out. 20 years, but they're sealed. There's no maintenance.
We're in Melbourne, and we found a maker's market as we were walking into town to look at the upcoming house. There are lots of beautiful things that people have made, including baskets and sewing, pet treats. We've got a little coffee cup and the wood maker. And we'll go inside and take a look. What do you think of the farmer's market? Well, I guess it was a maker's market.
It's a maker's market. Yeah, lots of talented people.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. So we just don't have our boat to know what we'll fit.
We were going to go to Melbourne Hall, the gardens, but unfortunately our furry little friends are not allowed in. Searching for trails to bike with Indigo, we found Manifold Way in the Peak Forest National Park. Following the river Manifold up the valley, it was beautiful scenery. Being a dry spell, the river disappears underground via sinkholes and re-emerges further downriver. Along the way, we locked up the bikes and hiked up to Thor's Cave, a predominant feature high up in the hills looking into the valley, with local evidence of human occupation 10,000 years ago.
To the cave, and all these steps have fossils in them. It's incredible. This is what we're walking on. Wow.
See our bike path down there, up the valley. It looks like in the distance there's another cave. She just barely fits. Oh, there's another one here, though. One dog for size. From 1904 to 1934, the Leek and Manifold narrow gauge railway, with primrose yellow locomotives modeled on those in India, ran on this route, and the train would stop to let passengers hike up the hill to the cave. What do you think? Yeah? Old school cake? Our turnaround point was Wetton Mill, where we bought a treat at the cafe and ate our packed lunch. Well worth the ride and hike if you get the chance. In all the towns we go to, it's fun to visit the thrift shops. You never know what you might find. Oh, a little cheese slicer. Yeah?
That's what I was thinking.
Ooh.
Well, good morning.
Yes, special day today.
Yep.
The crane is here to lift the boat up onto a truck. We're waiting for the truck arrival, so
We get run over here.
yeah. So we went for a little walk with Indigo and trying to avoid the big truck when it comes down the road.
The big truck on the tiny road.
So this guy has the remote for turning the wheels. And he's got a headset and he's talking. Yeah.
Just do it backwards as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say never get it in. Just like that, we've launched Rayleigh Scattering. She now has to sit in the sling overnight to make sure she is watertight. We enjoyed everyone's comments from our last video, suggestions like Hardwick House, and many helpful comments in general. We appreciate it, so do leave a comment to ask questions, and if you liked the video, leave us a thumbs up to help others find us. It's free to subscribe so you don't miss our next video as we move on board, give a tour of the boat. and take our first silent cruise up the Grand Union Canal. Until next time.
Home.
And just like that, we've launched Rayleigh Scattering. She has a few things to get ready for us moving aboard, and she'll sit in the sling overnight to make sure she is watertight. I can tell you, she is. Join us next video as we move on board, give a tour of the boat, and take our first silent cruise up the Grand Union Canal. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Until next time.